You're watching E.T.N. Share and subscribe.
Hey guys, welcome to Entertainment Talk Nation. This is Rob. This video we're going to do our review for the Flash finale, and a good finale it was. Very, very emotional. A lot of good emotional moments. I mean, we had exchanges with Barry and his father, Barry and Joe, Barry and Iris, which was very touching, Barry and his mother. How sad was that? You know what I mean? And even Cisco and Eobard, or Wells, however you want to consider him now, had a very touching moment. The look on Wells' face when Cisco told him about the vision of him being killed, and then Wells confessing to Cisco that he has a gift as well, that he gave him something when the accelerator went off, and we kind of all know where that's going. And you got to wonder now if Caitlin has something as well. And based on what I've heard about her character in the comics, that's probably a sure thing. So this episode just, I mean, on one hand, look, it was great. It was a wonderful episode to watch. It was a good way to finish the season. However, I wish there was some closure. We leave off with Barry chasing down a black hole in the center of Central City. And a little bit extreme. They went really, I mean, they went out there for this one, probably a little bit further than I thought they would. But that doesn't make it any less, you know, compelling in terms of what we have to look forward to next year. Eobard, or rather I should say E.T.N. Thawne, making the ultimate sacrifice to stop his distant ancestor. And I certainly didn't see that coming. I don't think anyone did. I really thought it would be a showdown between the Flash and Reverse Flash, and Flash finally getting the better of him. But as we can see, there's still a lot that Flash has to learn. Reverse Flash was still much more superior in terms of combat versus this young Flash, who has yet to really find all his powers, or not that find all his powers, but really hone them and utilize them in such a way where he could be more competitive with Reverse Flash. We know that later on down, as time progresses, you hear Dr. Wells talk about, or rather Eobard, once again, talk about how he could never beat him. They were always equally matched. And he found his weakness being going back in time, and he knew his identity. And he went back in time, he attempted to kill young Barry. And Barry went back in that time period, and it was amazing watching him run through, basically through time. And he's so fast, he gets to pick where he wants to go. And he goes back to that time period only to see himself tell himself, don't do it. And at first, when I saw that scene, I thought that he was telling himself, wait, like, not yet. But he told him, don't. And it's probably because a lot of things would have changed. And a lot of things would have changed. We don't know if Barry and Joe would have ever been as close as they were. We don't know if Iris and Barry would ever have an opportunity to either be together at some point or even be good friends. We don't know how things would have turned out with Barry's father and mother. For all we know, in their future, they could get a divorce because they just, you know, grow apart. There was so much in question that he was better off just leaving things the way they were. And that's what he chose. And I think that was a wise decision. I was surprised when Joe told him to go through with it. Joe usually does a good job of sitting down with Barry and weighing the options and telling him the benefits and the negatives of whatever it is Barry is confronting. But Joe knows that deep down inside, Barry wants nothing more than to save his mother. And I don't think Joe was going to question him. I don't think Joe was going to put Barry in a position to question himself. However, there were a lot of things to question. And it was nice to also see the Doc be there and kind of fill in the role of Dr. Wells. And obviously Ronnie being there. Ronnie and Caitlin finally get married. They tie the knot. And I think Barry sees all this, and he's like, why would I want to change this? I'm seeing one of my closest friends finally be happy with the man she loves. Me and Cisco have become good buddies. Me and Iris have a great friendship. Me and Joe have a wonderful bond. Even my father, being in jail, does not want me to change things because, you know, he's proud of what his son has become, and he doesn't want to change that. And that goes to show you just how much he's sacrificing, that he's willing to sit there and continue to serve his time, even though he's an innocent man, because he wants Barry to remain the way he is. He wants Barry to be happy with his life. And even like Iris said, Iris made a great point. You know, she told Barry, it's time to start thinking of yourself and stop thinking of other people. Because that is the essence of Barry Allen. He's always thinking of everyone but himself. And to finally see him make a decision for himself and make the right decision, it was just a really, really good episode. It really carried a lot of emotional weight. The scene between him and Joe and him and his father, and even him and Iris, were very touching. It just gives you an idea of just how deep the roots of these relationships he has with these three people really goes. And then on top of that, to see Eddie finally come around and not accept exactly what Eobard told him was also very touching. And to see him and Iris get back together was very nice. Only in the end for him to make the ultimate sacrifice to save Barry and bring meaning to his legacy. Because let's face it, he was the hero. He's the hero. He's the one that stopped the Reverse Flash. And that speaks wonders, that speaks measures about his character, about his self-sacrifice. It was just such a fantastic ending. And I love the scene when Barry came through the wormhole and just jabbed Eobard right in the jaw. And they went around, they had this fight. Eobard got the best of him. And then, obviously, Eddie made the sacrifice to stop him. It's been a great season. It's been such a wonderful season. In fact, so much so that it's hard to believe this is the first one. And I continue to ask myself, how can they top this? How can they go to another level? You know, because there were so many wonderful episodes in this season and so many wonderful events that happened. It's hard for me to imagine them topping it. But we'll see. I mean, there's still a lot of good, compelling villains out there. Gorilla Grodd, obviously, I think they've made it clear that he's going to be a big villain for Season 2. We know that there's a lot of other metahumans that have escaped the facility that he has to go back and capture. One of the things I really want to see next year from the Flash character, Barry Allen, I really want to see him kick ass. Really, I do. Many times that he's been out there and fighting metahumans, he's always been almost at a disadvantage. And he always came through at the end when he found a new power, whether it was Dr. Wells walking him through it or whether he was so much in a desperate situation that it just happened naturally. It wasn't something that he triggered. But I really would like to see a Barry, a.k.a. Flash, that is honed, that is a bit more seasoned next year. And when he does go after some of these villains that he has to deal with, really take them down. I really want to see him utilize his speed to his advantage, which there were times I don't think he did. And I really want to see him go out there and dominate a little bit. I mean, this guy's super fast. So there shouldn't be too many villains that can give him a hard time. And I'm not saying I want every episode to be a walk in the park. But I definitely want to see certain episodes and certain times where he just dominates his competition. And there's no question that he is extremely fast and extremely powerful. But overall, this first season was fantastic. You've been watching my reviews this whole year. You know that I love the show. Very, very much in love with it. It's probably my favorite show on TV right now, despite the fact that there are other shows out there with better stories and a little bit more mature, but it's the excitement level I get from watching the show. You know, like we were talking on The Nation recently about Daredevil and The Flash, and Daredevil is just a fantastic show. There's no question Daredevil has brought some elements to the fray that a lot of other superhero shows can't do. But it also has an advantage. It's a streaming show. It drops all its episodes in one shot, and it can do certain things, and it has certain advantages that some TV shows don't. And even as good as that show is, and as much as I love it, because I do love the Daredevil character, I think it's a very compelling character when you talk about a superhero that's blind and utilizes his senses to get the better of his competition. The Flash just excites me. It's just so much fun, and I think it's because there's so much dark and gritty out there that I'm embracing the lightheartedness of the Flash. You know, it's something different. It's you know, it's a little bit, maybe it's a throwback if you want to call it that, but there's so much dark and gritty out there that I'm embracing the lightheartedness of the Flash. I'm embracing the character interaction. To me right now, there's no competition. I think Grant Gustin has developed a great acting. I think he's a very, very good actor. He's very, very good bringing the emotional weight. And the character interactions between Barry, Iris, Barry and Joe, Barry and his father, and some of the other characters is some of the best interaction I've seen character-wise amongst other shows that I've watched. It's just very, very good. These people they work so well together, and they bring it on camera. It's just been a lot of fun to watch. So, but overall, a fantastic episode. I wish we'd have gotten a little bit of closure, but now I'm on the edge of my seat to see how things continue next year when we see Barry basically have to take down a black hole, which is a little bit crazy, but I'm going to roll with it. It's been a crazy season of The Flash, but it's been a fun season. How did you like the first season of The Flash? What did you think about the episode finale? This is Rob signing off for E.T.N, where we don't do news, we just talk entertainment. Take it easy.
Thank you for watching E.T.N. Don't forget to comment, share, and subscribe. Join the Nation's Facebook page to meet other subscribers or visit E.T.N's Facebook page and Twitter page. Links for all are in the description.